Now, Leicester is one of the most multicultural cities in the UK, but now its city council is being accused of being anti-Semitic. The council's passed a motion criticising Israeli actions in Gaza and the West Bank and boycotting products from those areas. Rob Pitton reports.
It's a conflict thousands of miles away that's having an impact here in the East Midlands. A decision by Leicester City Council to condemn the actions of the Israeli government in the West Bank and Gaza is proving controversial. The council has also said it'll boycott any produce made in Israeli settlements in the area.
When the Israeli state bombed Gaza during the summer and nearly 2,000 people died, for several Fridays in a row we had nearly 500 people protesting at the clock tower. We as councillors went along to address one of those rallies, and following that we were invited to go to Palestine, we went to Jerusalem, and following what we saw at that visit we brought the resolution to Leicester City Council.
But the decision to become involved in international politics hasn't gone down well with everyone. Jeff Kaufman's a county councillor and a former president of the Leicester Progressive Jewish congregation.
They're trying to attract the Muslim vote that they lost during the illegal Iraq war. I believe the action that they've taken will cause disharmony amongst the community. It's not part of their responsibility. And if Peter Salisbury wants to do that, perhaps you should go back and be a member of Parliament again instead of a city mayor. As far as I'm concerned, the actions that he has led are blatantly anti-Semitic.
This is not about the Jewish people, it's about the Israeli state. The people who face racial discrimination on a daily basis are the Palestinians.
The council denies the move is anti-Jewish. It says it's reflecting local views. It's something that's raised questions on the street about the issue and about the council.
For a council, no. I don't think it's... I didn't even know that, but yeah, thanks for telling me. But I don't think a council should know.
I would just say stay out of it. That's my general stance on things.
The actions caused by the Israeli government haven't really been very helpful at all, and I think everybody sees it in the same light. And it's just not doing anything positive for the community over there, and obviously Palestine and everything going on over there. So they haven't got the best image in the world, and I think something should be done to stop it.
Well, I think it's wrong because I think they should condemn both sides, because it's a case of violence begetting violence, and to take sides like that, I don't think that's looking at the bigger picture.
It's just a local council, and they're not giving the government's opinion, and the government's opinion is the one that counts. I think Peter Salisbury should keep his nose right out.
Leicester City Council acknowledges its move is unlikely to have any impact on the conflict in the Middle East or change Israeli policy, but its protest has made headlines around the world.
Well, people in Leicester there with some very strong opinions on this issue. John, you're a Leicester MP, obviously, and you recently visited Israel. Is the council right to take this stance?
Well, the first thing I would say is that people have sincerely held views on this, on both sides of the argument. As you said, I recently visited Israel and the occupied West Bank and Jerusalem. And when you visit that part of the world, it is clear that the international community has to do more to bring about a lasting, peaceful settlement.
What's it got to do with Leicester City Council?
Well, councillors from Leicester have also visited that part of the world, and they wanted to take a stance in their own way. I mean, what I did when I came back from that part of the world
why did they need to go there?
Well, because, well, why not? I mean, they are councillors. They need to think not just about the city, but they need to think about the role of Leicester in the wider world.
But so you heard people there saying that, Sir Peter Salisbury and the City Council should basically keep their noses out of it. Well, it's got nothing to do with Leicester. We're allowed to have opinions, but...
Well, yeah, and the councillors can have their opinions as well. But I went there. I'm the Member of Parliament for Leicester. I've been there. I've seen it for myself. I've seen Bedouin Arab communities, Arab shacks and tents where they were not allowed to put up a school for their kids, so they built a school out of 2,000 recycled tyres. So the international community have got to work together on this.
So is Leicester City Council right to take this stance?
Well, the Labour Party doesn't support boycott, but obviously the councillors can take any stance they want.
But do you agree with what they've done? I'm trying to get
the Labour Party doesn't. No, I do not agree.
You don't agree with it,
boycotts.
right?
But
okay.
hang on. I think this is important. It's a very complicated situation. I do think it's important that you have proper labelling of goods so that individuals can make up their
own
mind.
decisions. Yes. Okay. Well, Nigel, what do you make of this?
Well, I probably agree it's not something for a council to get involved in. I probably hope that City Council taxpayers didn't pay for that trip to Israel for their councils. It sounded like they didn't.
It wasn't a taxpayer-funded trip.
But I was one of the MPs that voted against a resolution to recognise the Palestinian state in Parliament recently. I think we would all agree there needs to be a two-state solution. I think we need to have those two sets of peoples living together in a peaceful situation. I'm not sure rushing into any situation before we actually got a really peace-loving Palestinian government in place. I'd be very nervous about recognising a Palestinian state while Hamas
well, the council just basically said that they were responding to local concerns. Shouldn't councils be doing that? Isn't that what councils are there for, to respond to local concerns?
I think there's real concern across the country that we're seeing a rise in anti-Semitic crime again, and I think we should be very careful before we respond to certain issues like this.
No, but the City Council say that they aren't boycotting Jewish people.
I absolutely accept that, but I mean, it's just the impression it gives when you start boycotting Israeli goods, Israeli settlement goods, that you perhaps accidentally stirring that up a bit further. I just think it's not something for a council to get involved in.
It's only goods from illegal settlements, they're saying, isn't it?
It's a really tricky international foreign policy area to try and get the right balance between getting the Israelis to start having more sensible policies to stop the illegal settlements, to try and push the peace process on, but also to try and get Hamas, which are a prescribed terrorist organisation, to actually not want to wipe Israel off the face of the earth.
What difference would Leicester City Council making this stance really have, though? Let's face it, it's causing this rumpus and people are concerned about it. What difference would it make?
Because I think you have to be internationalist, and Leicester City Council can take a stance on an international issue. I don't think anyone's proposing to stop motions like this going to city councils. I mean, in the 80s, Leicester City Council renamed a park Nelson Mandela Park. There was criticism. What's it going to do with Leicester?
Let's just reiterate here that Leicester City Council say they're not being anti-Semitic here.
Yes.
OK, let's leave it there.